Hi guys, this is a quick video tutorial for newcomers to YWALLET. Alright, so after you install YWALLET and you launch it for the first time, you will have this welcome screen. Just press new account and read the disclaimer. It just basically says that you should keep your seed phrase in a secure place and you should not share it with anybody else. So I check the three boxes and I continue to the account creation page. Here, if you have an existing account, you can turn on the switch, restore an account, and copy paste the or scan your seed phrase, which are the 24 words that's coming from the other wallet. But if this is a new account, just leave the restore an account switch off. You can choose a name. Main is okay for me. And then press the plus on the top right corner. In this version of YWALLET, the actions are on the top right corner because that's the standard for a material UI. So if we do that, we should have this page, which is your main account page. At the top, you have the current block height. It flashed just for a second because we received a new block. The blockchain just was increased by one block and scanning took place. Below you have your address, which is by default UA. If you tap on the QR code, then you will have access to the other types of addresses. There are diversified addresses, orchard, sapling, transparent, and then you go back to UA. So depending on the capabilities of the wallet which is sending you the money, you can either use the default UA or you can choose a specific address type. In any case, it will come to this account. Right, so at this point, I don't have any funds. You can see that the balance is zero. Below is 0 USD equivalent as well. And you have the exchange rate between ZEC and USD. If you want to change the base currency, you do that in the settings. In the general settings, you have currency, and you can change that to, for example, a euro. Select euro, checkbox. Now it's 1 ZEC for 27.39 euros. The message below, backup missing, reminds us that we haven't saved the seed phrase. And if the phone is lost, if this application is gone, you would lose access to your funds. So it's highly recommended to make a backup. To do that, I tap the backup missing button, and it shows me the 24 words that make the seed phrase. So these are the 24 words that should keep in a safe place. You can tap on this, and this seed phrase will be shown as a QR code, and then you can save that as a file, as an image file, or you can copy it to the clipboard and then paste it in another app. So there are several ways to save your seed phrase. Going back to the backup page, if I don't want to have this reminder at the bottom of the page of the account page, I turn on the switch, do not remind me. And now this message is gone. Once you have this message, then you can do the backup without authentication, without your password or your PIN or your fingerprint. But now that this message has been if I want to see the seed phrase, I need to go to more and look for backup. But now backup would ask me for authentication. Okay, so this is for receiving funds. I would need this address and give that to the wallet that sends me funds. All right, so give me a minute. I will send some funds to this wallet so that we can do a payment test. Okay, the transaction has been confirmed. I can see that I have 0.7 millisec now in this account. Therefore, we can move to the next step, which is to make a transaction out, to make a payment out of this wallet. At this point, the number of confirmations must be too low because for privacy reasons, we require 3 confirmations. This can be changed in the settings, but by default, it's 3 confirmations. In the meantime, we can take a tour of the main UI. And at this point, we are on the sapling address. So it shows 0.7. If I now go to the transparent address, It shows 0 because I don't have any funds on the transparent address. But you can see that in the corner, it also shows plus 0.001. That's because it's telling us that we have 1 millisec in another address or other addresses of the same account. Well, technically, we don't have 1 millisec, we have 0.7 millisec, but this is rounded to the millisec. So if we go down to UA, UA always shows the total balance of this account across all addresses. So it's gonna show 0.7. If I go to diversify, it's the same thing. But if I go to Orchard, you also can notice that if you hold your phone too flat, so I'm tilting my phone down like this, the balance disappears. It's a privacy feature. If you are showing your phone or putting your phone on the table, the balance will be hidden. You can change that in the settings and make it so that the balance is always hidden or the balance is always shown. If I go to Orchard, the same thing happens. I have zero ZEC in Orchard, but I have about 1 millisec in other addresses. So let's see how many confirmations I have so far. I can go to the notes, and it tells me that I have one note on sapling because of the color. I can tell it's sapling, and it has 2 confirmations. So that's too low. I can lower the setting. So for that, go to privacy and set minimum confirmations to, for example, 1. In this case, my note is spendable, and I can make a transaction using that balance. So I can go back to the main page, and then press the little send envelope at the bottom right corner. This starts the wizard for payment. The first question is who am I going to pay? How am I going to pay? Via an address, via a payment URI, or am I transferring from an account to another account from YWALLET? YWALLET supports multiple accounts, so you can send funds from one account to the other. In this case, it's going to be an address, so I leave it address. Then now I need to enter the address, so I can either copy paste the address here, or more commonly use the QR code scanner. So I'm going to use a QR code scanner. And then I need to allow the recording of video, and then I send it to scan the QR code that's on my screen. Okay, so this is done, and I can move to the next step. This is a pool selection. This asks me from which pool I want to take funds from. By default, everything is set, so I can leave it like that. If, for example, you want to restrict to a particular pool, you can say uncheck the ones that you don't want. So if I do this, it's going to be a T to T transaction because the T to Z. I don't remember what address I had over there, but the source would have to be transparent. All right, next, how much I want to spend. Okay, this account doesn't have much funds, so I'm going to just say I want to spend everything. Okay, I click the maximum button. You can enter the amount in ZEC in your base currency or as a slider. This is a slider in percentage of your full account. And the switch at the bottom sets whether you want to deduct the transaction fee from the amount that you're sending, or you are paying for the fee in addition to the amount that you're sending. By default, you are paying for the fees, and the amount that you set here is the net amount that the receiver would get. But if I'm doing a maximum transfer, I have to remove the fees from the amount that I'm sending. Otherwise, the transaction would not be feasible. You will lack funds to pay for the fees. Next one is do I want to include a message? This message can have a subject and a memo. I'm going to leave it a blank, and by default, it's just going to be a memo that says sent from YWALLET. That message can be personalized in the settings. And finally, I click on the envelope, to formalize the transaction. It shows me a summary of what's going to happen. So in fact, in this transaction, it's going to send 0.6 millisec instead of 0.7 because the transaction fee is 0.1 and it has been calculated based on the shape of the transaction. This is a sapling to sapling transaction. Okay, so now I press the final button and the transaction is computed and broadcast. I should get a transaction ID very soon. All right, so this is a transaction ID. I have the option to see this transaction on the Block Explorer. Let's take a look. So this is opening an external browser on the Block Explorer, and the Block Explorer tells me that this transaction has not been mined yet. All right, so this is it. This is how you make this is how you receive funds, and this is how you make a transaction. The other stuff that you may be interested in is how you transfer from pool to pool. Your account has 3 addresses. It has a transparent, sapling, and orchard address. Therefore, if you have funds in one of the pools and you want to move it to another pool, you could make a transaction by yourself manually doing this and inputting the destination address being the one of your own wallet or own account. But it's a bit cumbersome, and there's a shortcut for that. There's a particular tool. You can go to pools, and here it shows you the amount that you have in each pool. So I have 0 transparent, it's barely visible on the left. I have 0.7 millisec in the sapling, and I have 0 in orchard. I still have 0.7 in sapling because the transaction has not been done yet, and the wallet still thinks that I have that money. But realistically speaking, that money is already spent since the transaction has been sent out. Then the tool asked me from which pool I want to transfer from and where I want to send it to. Below you have the same dialog box, the same edit. You have the same input box that you had when you were making a transaction. So to input the amount, you can have in ZEC, in euro, or in your base currency, or as a percentage of your full account. And you can attach a memo. This maximum per node is if you want to split the output into smaller nodes. If you don't, you can leave it at 0, and the output will be one single node. And once you have filled all this information, you can press the checkbox, and it will form the transaction to do this pool transfer. You can then review it and then submit it, as if it was a normal transaction. There's nothing very special about it, except that this is a tool that allows you to form the transaction without having to input your account addresses. So this is it. These are the most important functionality: the ability to receive and send, and the ability to manipulate or to transfer from pool to pool. Thank you for listening, and I hope this video was useful. Take care.